How many of us here as youth want to start business? Do we know about the tax system in Cameroon or in Africa in general? How many of us do we know about the legal constraints and the legal procedures that bind business operations in our country? At times, you see some bike riders are paying windscreen license, and you begin to ask yourself, is a bike having a windscreen? Hello guys, welcome to yet another exciting edition of the Shepat talk show. We are going to be basically discussing today about a very interesting topic as I find it. I entitled it The Gospel of Wealth. All of us, if not a majority of us, must have a thing to say or have learned a thing or two about the process of wealth creation. So in our edition today, we are just going to be sharing our thoughts on some of those salient points we should take note of in our path towards wealth creation, as well as some of the obstacles that might be limiting us from attaining our set objectives. We are not actually in any way sharing our opinion from an expert position or from people that have made it as billionaires, but we are actually trying to share from the abundance of knowledge that we have gotten so far from our research, from the experiences of others, and from the little that we have experienced in our own career as well as our lifestyle. The first point I would like for us to discuss about is laziness. All of us, me inclusive, is one of the main obstacles that is blocking us from attaining wealth. Laziness comes in different forms. We at one point in time must have set our objectives, and at times we don't end up attaining it. And at times we become too comfortable with it because some of us that are Christians, we back ourselves from scriptures by saying that the love of money is the root of all evil. But when you begin to dig deep and see, who are those that eventually love money? They are that are willing to do anything possible to have it. They are actually poor people that are lazy, that feel that life is just a bed of roses. And when it's too late for them to achieve what they should have attained at a particular age, they start to look for the easy way out to escape from this poverty. I know it has been said by a lot of motivational talk that we should not let our background to put our backs on the ground. Yes, that is very true. But when we look at it on a global scale, we notice that poverty actually is swelling like a raging fire that is consuming and probably, if not to exaggerate, one of the killer diseases that we can have, especially here in Africa. I think that poverty should surely be killing people more than the dreaded HIV/AIDS, cancer, or probably the pandemic COVID. So, how then should we escape from this cycle of poverty that has engulfed into our system? From economic theory, actually, we know that, especially countries here in Africa and Cameroon, where we find ourselves, we discover that we have been encircled in the unending virtuous cycle of poverty. How do we break from this vicious cycle of poverty to a virtuous cycle of wealth creation and success? That's the next thing that we should think about. How can we do this? The first thing for us to do is to work hard. I know that this must not probably sound new to you, but in as much as hard work is good, I would like to emphasize that smart work and right work is very prominent. Why do I say this? Because you can be working hard doing the wrong thing. You can spend 6 hours of time digging the wrong place for gold, but maybe somebody will do a judicious effort to dig a place of where the gold is found for 2 hours might successfully attain its objective, while you have actually worked hard, but you have done the hard work in the wrong place. So as I want to say and emphasize again, hard work is good and it always pays, but on a more serious note, I would like for us to underline this aspect. Right work and smart work is most essential for us to succeed. We cannot succeed by only working hard, but we need to work smart as well as work right. This comes into play with what? The timing that we do things matter, the opportunities that present to ourselves with them matter, the areas we find ourselves with matter, the resources around us matter, our competitive advantage also matter. So in our struggle towards wealth attainment, we should keep this at the back of our mind. And then to come more on some aspect, one other key thing that is lacking for us in terms of our process of wealth creation It's the aspect that we do not have knowledge. When I say we don't have knowledge, it doesn't mean we are illiterate actually. The problem is that we lack adequate financial knowledge. What do I mean by financial knowledge? Our educational system has educated us, but has not really fully educated us in a way that it will make us sustainable and grow and to be independent after school. Most of us may say that we are seeing a lot of degree holders pushing trucks and the rest. It also comes from the fact that most of us do things without the right and appropriate orientation. Why should you see somebody that wants to be a back designer, for example? You are going to school and you do a course and you don't try to see how applicable that is in your business world. So that's where financial education comes into play. Without financial education, we risk the chance of having a lot of educated people, but who are not financially literate. I would like to repeat that. We might be very educated, but we are not financially literate. I have to say, like one comedian said this in a popular kit, I've forgotten the name, that when we look at today's world, where they say education is the key to success, one might now say that when I look at a player like Ronaldo or Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi, and I look at the salary that they take, like their yearly salary, it's huge sums of money, and one might be tempted to say that if education is the key, then surely having a skill in football is surely the master key. What am I trying to pinpoint? When they say education is the key, is very general. It is what type of education you are doing. Are you strategic in the way you are educated? And above all, are you financially literate? A lot of us will even notice the fact that some people feel that having a fixed employment opportunity is actually a guarantee towards success. But that is not the case. When we even look at employment statistics, actually, we can even say that employment is much more a recent phenomenon than the case with our forefathers. In the agrarian age, for example, employment was not the major objective for people. People fought more to invest. That's why you even notice, like in Europe and in America, the names of households they represent the trade in which that run in the family blood. You could hear names like Smith that come from the family of blacksmith. You hear names like Cooper. You hear names like Baker, which means they emanate from the family of those who are baking and the rest. So what is stopping for us from our present generation from succeeding actually? It's not actually fighting only to be employed, but we need a lot of financial education. Even those who are employed without financial education, who are not financially literate, end up in their retirement homes to be wallowing in very abject poverty. And we tend to say, for all this your years in the civil service, for all this your years in the active service, this is the only house that you left as inheritance for your children. That's a thinking tank that all of us should put into play. So, as a point of advice, it will be very crucial that when we are learning and growing, how we are trying to endeavor to succeed in life, we should know that investment is the key to success. How do you invest? For you to invest, you need to be financially literate. How many of us here as youth want to start business? Do we know about the tax system in Cameroon or in Africa in general? How many of us do we know about the legal constraints and the legal procedures that bind business operations in our country? Because it's very funny at times when you get people say that at times you see some bike riders are paying windscreen license, and you begin to ask yourself, is a bike having a windscreen? That is due to financial illiteracy. It is not necessarily because they are illiterate in terms of education, but because they are financially illiterate. And one popular adage goes that it is not what you keep that makes you great, but it's what you give out that makes you great. This goes into the aspect of investment. Keeping money with you, what they describe in economic terms as hoarding, will never make you to be great. But when you invest, you have the chance to actually multiply that and become something successful in the future. Investment actually needs to be done also in a very smart way, for it is often said too that no risk, no gain. So investment also comes with its risk. It is not as stiff to say when we want to invest, it is very certain that we are going to gain from it. but it will be very crucial for us to invest to win, and not for us to invest not to lose. I take that again. It is very crucial for us as we grow and develop in our lives. When we have the capital, it is essential for us to invest to win. We should not invest not to lose. Let me give a clear example. When you invest not to lose, it's like keeping money in a bank. You are very certain that after 5 years, I'm going to get to the bank, my money is going to be there. But when you look at the interest rate that money can make, maybe if you keep 1 million francs in the bank for a whole year, the interest rate cannot be up to 100,000 francs that you can make at the end of the year. That is somebody that is trying to invest not to lose, because your success and guarantee that you have to take their money is there. But when we do that, we forget about what? The time value of money. For the fact that 10,000 francs today, it is worth less the next tomorrow and the years to come. And when we look at people that invest to win, there are people that, despite the risk factor that exists, they do a proper industry analysis. Say, I have to enter into this domain. This is what it takes. You dip into it. You look at the nitty-gritties. What does it take to succeed in this business? Who are those that are there? What are they doing? How are they doing it? How am I going to do it differently? When you start cultivating this kind of entrepreneurial mindset or leadership mindset in a particular business domain you want to enter into, it is going to be a sure step ahead for you to succeed and to generate wealth in the nearest future. To end, I would like to say on this fact, in as much as we are preaching to work hard, do this and the rest, it is necessary for us to focus when we have a particular objective. What we mean about focus here is, focus is like you follow one course until it is already succeeding. I know many people will argue against that by saying that it's always good to put your eggs in many baskets. Don't put your eggs in one basket because the basket can get broken. It's obviously known about that, but I would like to advise that when I say focus means we set up a scale of preference with objectives and tasks we want to achieve and say, fine, I will put efforts to do this one, I'll put efforts to do this one. And we'll be able to have a clear metrics to measure the success rate of what we can have. But when we try to be a jack of all trades at many instances, our plans always tend to backfire. Thank you, and I look forward to hearing from you in the comment section about the comments. What do you think about wealth creation? What has taught you about the gospel of wealth? What are your thoughts about some of the issues and obstacles that might be blocking us from attaining the required wealth in life? Remember to hit the jingle button and subscribe. Share it if you like it, and take note for more from the Shepat team. Say bye from Shepat.